If you've ever missed a putt and blamed your stroke, there's a good chance it wasn't your stroke at all. It might have been your hosel. This tiny piece of metal connecting the shaft to the putter head might be the most overlooked performance factor in putting. And today we're breaking down how different hosel designs evolved, not just for looks, but to fix very specific stroke types. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which hosel matches your stroke and why switching it could instantly improve your consistency and hopefully start getting you sinking some putts. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into putter reviews, authentication, history, and the real engineering and science behind what actually makes a golf putter. Today's episode, the evolution of the hosel and how different neck shapes are designed to fix your stroke. Let's start with the one concept that controls everything. Toe hang. Before we talk about hosels, we need to talk about toe hang. Toe hang is what happens when you balance a putter on your fingers. Does the face point straight up or does the toe drop down to the ground? A face balance, when you balance it in your fingers, the face is looking up towards the sky. So remember, face balance toward the sky, toe hang, the toe points downward. Why does that matter? Because your putting stroke naturally moves in one of two ways: a straight back and straight through, or a slight arc opening on the way back and closing on the way through. Hosel designs directly influence toe hang, and toe hang determines whether your putter works with your stroke or fights against it. The original plumber's neck. You'll hear this quite often in your local shop or watching videos like this. Let's start with the most iconic hosel of all time, the plumber's neck. This design dates back decades and became legendary through the putters like the Ping Answer and Scotty Newport. You'll recognize it instantly. It's a short vertical segment, a 90-degree bend into the head. What does it do? The plumber's neck creates a moderate toe hang, usually around 30 to 45 degrees. Going back to that example, if you were to take your putter, that would be pretty significant. It's going to be around there where your toe is pointed, not quite at 45 and not quite base balance. That makes it perfect for players with a slight arc stroke. But here's the key engineering detail. The offset created by the plumber's neck helps position your hands slightly ahead of the ball, promoting a cleaner roll. That's why it's still the most widely used hosel in golf today. It's the middle ground that fits the largest number of players. Now let's move into something more refined, the flow neck, sometimes called a slant neck. This hosel has a smoother, more continuous curve into the head, less angular than a plumber's neck. What does that change? It increases toe hang, often into the 45 to 60 degree range. That makes it ideal for golfers with a strong arc stroke, players who really open the face, going back and releasing it through impact. Going back to that example, we're going from about right there, there to there on this style. But there's more to it than just toe hang. The flow neck also reduces visual distraction at address. It creates a softer, more rotational feel and encourages natural release instead of manipulation. This is why you'll often see better players gravitate towards flow neck designs. They allow the stroke to stay athletic and unforced. The double bend shaft. Now let's go to the opposite direction, the double bend shaft. Technically, this isn't a traditional hosel, but functionally it serves the same purpose. Instead of a separate neck piece, the shaft itself has two bends that position it directly over the center of gravity. What does that do? It creates a face balanced putter. That means minimal toe hang. The face wants to stay square throughout the stroke. This design is built specifically for players with a straight back and straight through stroke. But here's where it gets interesting. Face balance doesn't mean better. It just means more stable for a certain motion. If you have an arc and try to force a face balance putter, you'll often leave putts open or feel like you're fighting the club. Next up, center shafted putters. These have the shaft centered directly in the middle of the head. From an engineering standpoint, this aligns the shaft axes directly with the center of mass. The result? Extremely balanced feel, minimal torque, very stable through impact, but there's a trade-off. Center shafted putters can feel less forgiving on alignment for some players because they remove that forward offset visual cue. These type of putters tend to work best for straight strokes, players who struggle with face rotation, or golfers who like a very neutral feel at impact. The short slant and mini flow variants. Now, modern putter design has evolved into hybrid hosels like short slant necks, mini flow necks, compact plumber variations. These are all about fine-tuning toe hang. Instead of big jumps between face balance and heavy toe hang, manufacturers now offer very precise increments for specific type of putter art. For example, the short slant equals slight toe hang, mini flow equals moderate toe hang, but smoother fill. This is where putter fitting has really advanced, and manufacturers of putters have really tried to make that putter for a specific golfer and their arc. There's no longer choosing just between arc or straight. There's more of a middle ground. So why this matters, here's the reality. Most golfers choose putters based on the look, not on how the hosel affects their stroke. And that's a mistake. Because if your hosel doesn't match your natural motion, you'll manipulate the face, you'll struggle with consistency, and you'll never fully trust your stroke. But when the hosel does match your stroke, everything simplifies. The putter starts to feel like it swings itself. So next time you're testing a putter, don't just look at the head shape or the brand. Pay attention to the hosel and do some tests to see, what is my arc like? You're going to want to know that before going in to buy, or most great shops have new technology of filming, or those can just watch you and see what type of arc you are. Because that small piece of metal might be the difference between fighting your stroke and finally letting it work. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, like, and check out the library for other deep dives into putter design, history, and performance. See you in the next one.